Yeah. You want to take them home? 3,000 each.
What's going on here?
I don't know.
I know what's been happening to you.
You promise you can stop these men?
I promise. This involves all kinds of internationals, from military officers to diplomats.
All international personnel have immunity. They can't be prosecuted.
You have no police reports. You need to investigate this.
Just talk to whoever you want. They're not listening. You're on your own.
All right, co-host. I feel bad watching this movie. I set you free.
What?
You were no longer my sex slave.
What? Shit. Hey, you're my sex slave, dude. I'm going to make a movie about what's going on here between you and me next week called Dick Blowers. All right?
That's what I like to tell you, but you know, man, I got a conscience now. I can't do this to you no more. Go, little robot, go free.
Of all the nauseating visual images we have referenced in the history of Spill.com, none will haunt you longer than these.
I used to tell him it was just a shine. That's all. It was just a spit shine, but no.
It's especially disturbing because the co-host has 15 inputs.
Oh, I know. Found a couple others you don't know about.
I'm about to kill all you motherfuckers right now. Like
That's
relentless.
right. I never opened the battery compartment.
That shit's about to look like beef stew in here, all right? Shut up.
You're right, man. You're right, man.
You leave my people alone.
I'm sorry, man. We shouldn't be laughing anyway. This is a serious film. This is a movie about sex trafficking.
It is.
And all the corruption that goes on behind it. That probably still goes on today.
I was caught in sex traffic today, man. It's like
it is
3
going
hours.
on right now.
Oh, is that when you stuck on I-35 and you jack off while you wait for the traffic to move?
Well, you got to do something.
That's that traffic that he puts to those porn sites and he goes to see.
Look, Corey, I think you're only fronting about being offended by this movie because you're about to head over to Amsterdam and Croatia yourself. You don't want this movie to come out because you're like, hey, I got some hoes lined up when I get over there.
That's
Y'all
why
ruin this
he's
for me.
going there.
Yeah,
he saw
exactly.
the movie. He's like, wow, you can make some money off this entail.
This movie turned into a tourist guide for the.
No, I'm going over there trying to become a slave. I'm like, damn, there's some steady work right here. You know, we're in a recession, man.
That's true.
Hey, what y'all trying to say? I don't look good? Hello?
I don't think slave pays. Just saying.
Fuck, I knew there was a catch in there somewhere.
I would think you of all people.
Yeah,
would know
you of all
that.
people. Man, you might want to reread your history books.
I was going to old school. I was bringing it back.
It's like, well, my people weren't slaves. My people were the people who sold the slaves. I'm a Amistad motherfucker.
Showed up in chains and everything. Shirt half torn. Y'all sitting there? No, but you know what, man?
You got any Croats who have a mandingo fetish? Because I'm all ready for that.
You know what? And I'm serious. I was watching this movie and I was like, I was wondering if y'all gonna start questioning me because I go to Croatia a lot and I'm like,
hell yes,
y'all
you
were like,
do.
man, ain't nothing in Croatia but sex slaves. Why you going over
That's
there?
what I'm always thinking. I'm like, what the fuck? You always tell me, but they have a beach? What?
It's going to be
right where they beat the horse? What are you talking about?
It's going to be a Confessions of the Dangerous Mind shit going on. We're going to be like, man, he's always going off these weird, war-torn places. Who goes there? A professional assassin. That's who. This whole spill thing is just a front.
Yeah, more like a virginity assassin. Don't you give me that look.
What look? I just saying
You did a double take just then when I said that. You just played yourself. I hit on something.
Now, to be fair, virginity assassin only with the vaginas that are sold, they've closed back up.
Oh, stop it now. You know what? This movie right here, this is a serious film. It's
yeah, we shouldn't be joking.
I know we shouldn't be joking. We're joking about ourselves, the whores that we are, not about the whores.
It's uncomfortable laughing.
But you know what? It really, all joking aside, this is one of the most disgusting films I have seen all year, man. And it's not like it's not like it's extremely violent or even extremely graphic, but just the things that they insinuate that goes on in the sex traffic that these women have to are kept in, and the conditions that they're kept in the way they're punished. I mean, I was like, man, I don't know if I can finish watching this film.
Well, the thing is, it's not only disgusting, but it really fucking it makes you hate being a man or a robot
or a person.
Just, if you have a dick attached to you, you will hate yourself after watching this film because you're like, wow, men are fucking evil. People are evil, and this world is fucking disgusting.
Well, I tell you, the only thing that kept me from hating being a man is knowing, like, whew, that means they ain't going to do that to me.
One less thing you have to worry about.
But it is one of those things, like, they have these specials all the time about the sex trade. Like, that even goes on between Mexico and Houston.
Yeah.
And, I'm watching some, I'm like, oh, shit, I was with that girl. Damn. I'm joking, by the way.
No, I know. No, see, I like the way y'all talking about. I'm gonna dig my own grave at the beginning of this. I'm just sitting back and just watching. Yeah,
Waiting for the History Channel to tell me
Leon
more.
actually
What?
showed up at the house with 200 roses. What the fuck is that?
Chris Hansen. Oh, fuck. Man, watch this movie. I was like, in the beginning, I'm like, okay, it's a cop drama, a murder mystery. It's kind of going the ways of the Constant Gardener. And then the longer it goes on, the more intense it gets.
The more fucked up you realize
and the more gritty it gets. Just like, oh, man, this ain't nothing like that.
No, this is one of those movies where you look in the mirror and it's like, damn, I wish I could be a vigilante right now.
I know,
right? I just want to kill somebody.
Well, it's funny because there was a series of The Punisher where he dealt with killing these guys who do this, and I was like, when's The Punisher going to show up?
Weren't y'all watching this the whole time and wondering where was Liam Neeson?
Well, yeah. It's like, well, that's what I was saying. Like, well, all these girls trapped. I'm like, man, if Liam Neeson, okay, if not The Punisher, surely the movie Punisher, Liam Neeson could come in and save these girls.
Well, you know what? Rachel Weisz she was a cop, and she's supposedly a really good cop. I was hoping it would just get to that point. And God, this is so Hollywood of me, and I hate it. But you're just that angry. You're like, fuck realism. I want to have that scene with the rising music where she's putting on the black face paint and like strapping on like bullet belts.
Yeah, she just busts into the room and just blows up everybody.
Starts having an Austrian accent for no reason.
I think I prefer Liam Neeson just crashing through with his like Bentley or something and just going, where the hell's the gas?
I think Liam Neeson did that and saw how real that shit was. Like, fuck this. I'm going back.
Listen, I'm just going to take my daughter and get out of here.
Yeah.
It's all the same to you.
I can't have. Oh, okay, I just asking. Just so that, baby. I'm sorry. Shit, you have Liam Neeson calling up. Somebody help me! They fucking me over here.
It's bad enough that you're watching just people over here in this foreign country who are doing this to their own people, or even people in neighboring countries. You're like, well, Americans would, and then they're like, no, these are Americans organizing this whole thing.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, oh, motherfucker!
And it's even worse saying that this is. I mean, we see movies all the time where they say based on a true story, inspired by a true story. I like the way they inspired. I like the way they say inspired by in this movie because I was like, ain't nothing inspirational about this shit at all. True. I was like, but I mean, even knowing that they
deal with the mystical, magical, anything at this point.
I know. I'm like, wow, I have no inspiration after watching this. But this is one of those films where you're like, man, even if they are just reporting about half of the stuff that we see in this movie, it's terrible enough. And you know that, okay, in this movie, it's one of those rare things. Like, I have a feeling that what's going on in real life is much worse.
Oh yeah,
and yeah, this is a true story. This is based on a woman named Catherine Bulkovac, and she's now you probably think she's from Bosnia or something herself. Actually, she is not. She's from Nebraska. She's a cop who lives in Nebraska, and at the time of the story, which is taking place in 1999, she is separated from her daughter. Husband got the daughter in a divorce because they said that she was an unfit mother, worked all the time.
Right.
And she's a police investigator. And so she wants to find a way to get her kid back. And she is told, like, hey, $100,000, you can go over to Bosnia as sort of this peacekeeping mission with the UN. You're going to be with an elite group of guys over there, and this is after the Bosnian War, and they're saying, hey, we just need somebody to go over there and kind of just help pull things back together and rebuild. And she's thinking like we're like Greenpeace with a gun, this is going to be kind of cool. We're heroes. And she goes over there, and first day, everything's cool. The guys that she hanging with, they all go out drinking and everything. She's like, this ain't so bad. Where's all the...
This is the life for me.
Yeah, where's all the trauma? Where's all
the hubbub?
Yeah, where's the war? Where's all the suffering? I'm drinking and having a good time. Well, she starts to find all these crimes against humanity, spousal abuse, and as she digs deeper, she finds out that there's this sex trafficking that's occurring too. And she's thinking, well, of course, in the environment that we're in now, that's bound to happen. These guys are just lawless right now. So this is the bad part. Okay, but maybe we can make something happen here. Start making a change. She actually feels like she is making a change for a little bit.
Well, she's already busting people who are like, domestic abuse.
Yeah.
Where nobody else was getting through. She's making headway there.
Giving legal advice and getting people to come in.
She's like, hey, well, if I could do this,
take
sex trade, maybe I can knock this down.
Yeah, people actually go to court and the judges say, hey, girlfriend got a point. All right. But then as she digs deeper, she goes into like a dungeon one day where she finds like pans of urine and shit and condoms and needles and numbers scrawled in concrete. And she digs even further and finds out like not only is this a drug trafficking ring occurring among the people here who are in Bosnia, but there's a conspiracy where it's happening with these people that are in the UN. People have been hired by the UN. And on top of that, she learns like this is not an elite group of commandos that are coming with these. These are thugs. These are uneducated idiots who are over here who are doing this.
And the same idiots I've been drinking with are involved in this.
Yeah.
Not eating?
Nah, I just have a quick question. You know the raid you ordered last night? Local police said they were taking the girls to Zanitsa, but they never showed up.
And mess. So locals dragging us into their turf war. Some cop from another canton calls in a fake tip about a prostitution bust, but, ours legit, and the girls just waitresses, so.
Waitresses?
Hey, don't hurt to be thorough, though, right?
Yeah, right. Thing is, I found padlock rooms, young women's passports, and there was a lot of U.S. currency.
Where are we going, Columbo?
I don't know, but, something fucked up's going on.
It's corruption that bleeds completely. It's a conspiracy that goes through the lowest man to the highest man.
Well, that's a problem with it because she's thinking, well, all I got to do is just alert people that this is happening here. This contract that they have to go over there and clean up Bosnia is a multi-million-dollar contract. And ain't no ways, these people going to like fuck that up. So they're just kind of like, we don't know what you're talking about.
Well, even not just that, even. I mean, there's a private contracting firm that she's gotten the job through to work for the UN.
Yeah.
Right. So not only does the contracting firm want nothing with this connected to them, to the point they'd rather just ignore it and say, nope, not happening, whatever. But the UN themselves don't want anything to do with it. They're like, nope, don't believe you. Nothing happening here.
Yeah,
We're willing to go to great lengths to cover this shit up just so we don't look bad.
Right. Yeah, but the UN is like, yeah, we think it sucks too. But if you pull a lid off that, it's going to make us look real bad, and we can't have that.
And we're going to lose some money.
Yeah, there are a lot of people that we work for that don't want you fucking with this. And once you get that sense of, man, everyone is fucked. You can't do anything about this shit. There's too many hands involved, especially hands that are like higher ups and like what this whole thing is, what the UN is all about. Once you realize how really deep it goes, once she starts discovering this, that's when the anger starts to really kick in, where it's like, what can anybody do about this, and why doesn't anybody care?
Well, the reason why nothing is really happening, in real life, the only big thing that I understand that happened with this from reading from it, the company was called, I think, DynCorp, something like that. Mm-hmm. And she had to go to, she filed a suit against Great Britain because she was fired from her job, and she sued on basis of, they fired me because I was a whistleblower. And she won. It was ruled in her favor. She got a book that came out of it in 2011 of the same name, and then they made a movie about it. However, to this day, I don't think a lot of these guys who were in on this, who worked for the UN with this company that were hired by this private the contracting company, they don't have any jurisdiction to do anything to them while they're in Bosnia.
Yeah, they got diplomatic immunity.
Not a single one of them has been arrested or even penalized.
Yeah.
Well, no, they've been the ones who were even like remotely involved. Names were mentioned. They were just like let go, like a job would just let you go. But they.
Oh, you're talking about let go?
Yeah, just let go from the company altogether without any questioning about why or what.
Yeah.
If you were anywhere near associated, they thought you were associated with, they just leave it alone. Yeah.
And there is one guy in this movie who is so sleazy, and I hate this guy. And I was looking at him, I was like,
oh, you can't help but hate him.
I looked at I said, that guy's, I don't know his name, but I hate his fucking face. I don't know who he
David
is.
David Hewlett?
No.
Yes, you knew who I was talking about.
Yeah, that guy who's the obnoxious neighbor in the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at him. I was like, this guy's an asshole. I don't even know why, but before the movie even got, like, he did anything bad and was like, he's going to do something evil. I know, because he just
poor guy. He's actually a really great actor.
Is he
He's
really?
like the best thing about Stargate Atlantis, like that show. He was like the Spock on that show.
You said enough. You said enough.
I just think
you just ended his career.
Yeah, in 2 weeks I saw 2 movies where this guy was the biggest asshole in the world.
yeah.
Apparently, that's all he's going to get cast on from now.
And he's not even like that arch villain asshole where he's an asshole, but he's funny and you appreciate
He's
it.
the pedophile asshole.
Yes, exactly.
That type
No,
of
he's
asshole.
creepy. He's just got a sleazy face.
Yeah, and when bad shit happens to him, you cheer.
Yeah.
Like Caesar could not kick his ass enough.
No, dude just walks in the room and like, man, what's that on your face? Like, man, it's slime. I'm just slime.
Yeah, no, he walks in and you
bitch.
call up, hey, Chimp Hotline, can I get one over here to take care of this dude? I don't like his face.
What did he do? He's gonna do something. You see his face. You know what I'm talking about too. Send me a picture. Oh yeah, that guy's fucking evil, man. Yeah, but he's a great actor though. I mean, that movie and in this film, I have to say, it's. I hate to say it. There's villains in a movie that I love to hate because this is not the kind of movie for those type of villains.
He's the kind of villain that you have no respect for.
Yeah.
And the award goes to the best pedophile ever.
David
the guy
Hewlett.
from Stargate.
Jeffrey Jones was in this?
Award for the biggest asshole neighbor who abuses chimps goes to.
And outside of anything else about the actual, the way this film was made, which I thought was great. I thought it was an extremely well-made movie. It's an important film because of just that. So many people, I don't think about human sex traffic or even just human traffic at all, but when they tell you there's thought to be 2.5 million people right now being trafficked in the world, and you take this tiny little microcosm in this movie of how fucking shitty these people have it, and multiply it by those numbers, man, this is the kind of film that more people need to see.
Yeah, it really
to
is.
be aware this is not some fantasy, this is not an exaggeration, this is not like one guy's opinion of what's happening. This is a fact. This is happening.
And you can only hope
it looks like.
You can only hope it gets to enough people to just talk about it.
Yeah.
Just to with films like this, I'm always afraid that they may get like a limited release or just the subject matter alone. Like when you watch the trailer, it's nothing you want to go rush out and see. But the thing is, I think it is very important because it is, it's still going on apparently. And I have a buddy who's in the military where, I was like, hey, I just saw this movie called The Whistleblower about the shit going on around Bosnia. He's like, oh yeah, you don't even want to know half of it. That is
you don't want no
just don't even want to talk about. Yeah, you don't want no part of this shit. And it's scary to think, wow, and just it's just shit that goes on that it's just the way it is over there.
And you probably wonder how they bring these girls in. They promise them because I've heard about these stories before, even this movie. You hear about things where
Russia and Mexico.
Yeah, they're going to promise
Thailand.
There's always a promise of a better life. We're going to, you pay your dues with us by working your debt off, and then we'll take you to America or wherever you want to go. And they never work that.
Well, it's the same economic system that works with like coal mines and fishing boats. Where it's like, hey, you're gonna
spill.
yeah, that's right. It's spill. Like, hey, you're gonna make all this money. Oh, you want something to eat? Yeah, here you go. Here's some food. Now at the end of the month, it's like, well, you had this to eat, and then your rent for being on this boat and all this. So when it comes down to the end, you still owe us about $200.
Oh, it's kind of like a record contract.
Yes, actually, it's a lot like a record
now
contract.
You know why the Leon guys keep coming back every week.
This is how Suge Knight runs his business. In case you guys didn't know.
No, this movie is like Blood Diamond, except it's about pussy.
I would compare it to Midnight Express more than anything else in the sense of how it makes you feel and what it's trying to do. I mean, it's so intense that you want to cry watching it because it's just that much shock at the human horror of it all and the way it impounds over and over again. Not just a movie, it's real. And you can't recommend this movie to people in the sense of, dude, you'll love this movie because you won't.
Well, you feel like you have some kind of moral obligation to fucking tell people like, watch this because there's shit going on that we just will never know about. And maybe sometimes that's a good thing because when you do, you really do feel kind of rotten inside that your country, which supposedly is the greatest country in the world, is even part of this. That somebody knows that this shit is going on, but everyone is just looking turning the other cheek. Where I'm like, can somebody show this fucking film to Obama?
Yeah.
Or is there somebody?
You know what? I can tell you the reason why, what you can recommend this film on. First off, like the thing that probably bothers you the most is not just the inhumanity, but like the fact that what makes it most inhuman is how many characters turn a blind eye or profit off of it. That's what makes it, just makes you feel sick to your stomach. But a reason to recommend it is because Rachel Weisz gives that Oscar-winning performance that probably won't get recognized.
No, I was going to say as a movie that I was just about to say we never mentioned that Rachel Weisz plays the lead character here, and because I as a movie, it's nothing against the message of this film. Yeah, I think it's an important film to be seen. I don't think the movie is as strong as Rachel Weisz's performance. I think she gives an amazing performance in this, and I don't know how. We're watching a screener of this movie. I don't know how big a distribution this movie's going to get.
Probably very little.
Well,
and when Oscar time comes, I hope
it's not going to be like brushed under the carpet during Oscar time because this is the kind of film that. Look, I've seen films, as the problems I have with, I've seen films of lesser quality get noticed at the Oscars, and I don't think this is going to get that kind of attention. But Rachel Weisz should get the attention for this. This is an Oscar-winning performance. But the movie itself, it wants to be. It feels like to me it wants to be a thriller, and it also wants to have this important message. And as a thriller, I don't think that it has the right pacing to be a strong thriller. I think it's good, but not great. And because of that, it kind of undermines the dramatic points that the movie wants to make, or the drama that it wants to be. So I don't think the movie's all that even.
Okay, I have to disagree because watching this movie, I mean, every scene for scene. I mean, it was kind of a slow build because I really didn't know what it was about. But once they pull you in, it kind of felt like when I watched Silence of the Lambs for the first time, where I'm involved in this woman's, story. Just, what it's like being a woman, and then, you throw her in a situation where it's completely alien to her, and then when she realizes that, she's pretty much in the bowels of hell, and just being a woman doesn't help that fact. I thought it just brought the tension on even more, especially with characters who she interacts with in this film, where it's like, there's a point where everybody is like knows what she's up to, and they're all giving her the evil eye, like, you better shut your fucking mouth, bitch, or else. And I thought that really like intensified what was going on with the film, because you feel like, man, this woman is all alone with the exception of a few people who, whenever they try to help, something bad happens. And I thought that really like was the big strength of this.
Oh, you
film.
like saying the suspense in it was pretty.
I love the suspense. I loved it. I
totally see what you're saying, Corey. But I think that the fact that Rachel Weisz's performance is so strong, holy shit, one of the best ones we've seen this year.
She is, yeah.
And that there's lots of other elements that are really good. I thought the score was excellent at giving you a sense of like things are like getting darker and moving more and more towards some horrible conclusion. And the fact that we're so motivated to really care about what's going on by the fact of knowing that this is true, being really concerned for these people where no one is safe.
Yeah.
You have no idea who's safe in this film as you're watching it. And believe me, pretty much nobody is. It makes up for the fact that it's not a perfectly directed film by virtue of those two things largely. I think one of the film's real gifts as a, for the writing and directing of the film per se, to hand to the people who did that, was that they made a strong point of starting off with Rachel Weisz and her relationship with her daughter, who is moving away with her ex-husband, and she's very upset about it. And the whole reason she's even taking this trip is because she wants to have enough money to be able to go where they're moving to. And it's that connection that she has with her daughter and her sense of loss and everything that ties into later as she's desperately trying to protect the life of this one girl. We really understand her character, her motivation, and why this means even doubly as much to her as it might to somebody else.
Yes.
And that's cemented. I mean, but what I love too is that it made me feel a bunch of emotions which I never really think about sometimes. And I loved how like the character of the teenage girl in this film, where she makes decisions where you honestly get upset, you get frustrated with her. But at the same time,
you can understand why she's making those decisions.
You understand, but you still get frustrated. So you're like, will somebody fucking just do something?
Well, she's got the kick puppy syndrome. You kick them enough times, they're not going to come no matter what you're holding.
Yeah, you get a guy that's going to like sodomize you or blow your brains out if you talk. I mean, you're going to be scared too. Shit, if you.
See, what was that like, Corey?
I can't say anything. No, don't ask me. No.
That's why we keep coming back here every week.
That's right,
you
Corey.
do.
For the free sodomization? Yeah. No, you know what?
Excellent, Corey. Here's your snack.
Thank you. I didn't say anything. Sorry. No, how'd you feel overall? I mean, everybody's kind of giving
honestly, well, the thing that you were just saying, I probably felt that in the first half of it. I was like, okay, this is, your typical kind of European thriller, and I'm okay. But somewhere in the middle, man, it grabbed me by the balls and had my full attention. Emotionally.
Put you in chains.
Well, yeah.
I told you to shut the fuck up.
You do not want Rachel Weisz in this movie to grab you by the balls.
Well, not with a name like Weisz, I don't.
She's got that kind of grip.
But her performance, everything that was going on, had me so pulled into it. And I felt tense the whole time. I mean, it delivered on everything it was trying to do. And it's just, you know what, I appreciate the fact that like I said, in the first half, I was just like, okay, this is cool. And then I was like, man, this is all setting up for something really big. And like I said, it reminded me of The Constant Gardener, except that it went that extra mile to where it was like, man, you got me. And I felt like taking a shower when the whole thing was over.
I mean, don't get me wrong.
I just feel like it delivered on everything it should have, which is why I would give it full price.
I agree with everything you said. While I don't think it's a perfect film, I think that what is so great about it does kind of fill in those gaps in a very positive way. It's a film that I would tell people to watch, but but not the most sensitive people I know.
Well,
we
sure.
all know those people who can't watch dark stuff. They
Yeah.
will just flip out. I don't care what people tell you about, it's an important political movie. Don't watch it if you're one of those people.
True.
You will have nightmares for probably a good month afterwards. I mean, it's very graphic at points, probably, maybe even too much so for what it's trying to achieve. But for someone who's like jaded like me,
It ain't the devil's double, but yeah.
no, but it's somebody who's jaded like me. It got to me. I mean, it
Yeah.
haunted me. I can't stop thinking about it. It's a full price movie.
You know what I say? I say fuck those sensitive people. They're the reasons why a lot of times shit doesn't happen in this country, and shit doesn't happen where it should be. Because
Now, what you doing?
I wanted to fucking write Obama a letter and say we need to get the military, get our forces strong, and go over there and fucking do something for once.
Evil
and get
flourishes
those-
when good men do nothing.
Goddamn right.
And we are those good
Batman
men.
should have
I know,
told
I'm about to
everyone
on
that.
the air to tell you. Well, go watch a movie.
We got Leon over here talking about, man, I do something, but I'm waiting on the Punisher.
Wait till I get all my cool gear and fucking then I'll go do something. But no, I mean it makes you fucking mad. It put me through emotions that I'm like, wow, this is whatever fault it has as a film, as far as whatever the director does, you completely forget. Only because I mean it just left me so fucking tense and upset. And made me start looking up shit on the internet, seeing what
is
can I
compassion?
fucking do. And it made me. But the worst thing about this though is that it made me not want to fucking look at. It made me not want to look at porn for a whole fucking month. I mean, it really did.
How sensitive of
I
you.
couldn't see a girl. I couldn't see a girl bend over anymore.
To be fair, he
There's a lot
lasted
of-
2 days.
Yeah.
But the intent was there.
I can't even look at a fucking Sears catalog with chicks in fucking underwear anymore. It really affected me that much. But I'm gonna give it a full price only because I think everyone needs to be. I think this needs to be shown in schools about.
I don't
just
know about
what
that.
is going on. No, they're gonna do it. They should do it tomorrow. Actually, they should do it tomorrow. But it's
Co-host Elementary.
It's a full price. Oh, but real quick, I disagree with you as far as the graphic. I did not. I thought the scenes that were, implying things were tastefully done in a way to where
You know,
it just
I would
didn't.
agree with you there.
They didn't make
they
you go,
weren't super
"Oh, this is
graphic,
fucked up."
but they just made you wince so much. They had such an emotional content that it felt graphic,
You're
even
right.
though it wasn't.
Fair enough.
Actually, that's a good point, man, because a lot of the things that happen here, there's scenes of violence that are bad enough as it is, but when you see all the images, you put it together
Easily.
in your mind. You have such nightmarish images of what is possibly happening that you don't see, which is the most effective kind of horror, if you ask me. Anyway,
You're right.
Even though this is not a horror film, but it's very horrible. What's going on?
It's worse. It's worse than a horror film.
No, listen. I cannot argue that this is something I think that's important for everyone to see. I mean, but at the same time, this is something that's important for everybody to look up without even the film itself. So the subject matter goes without speaking. Yeah, I would recommend this to anybody to see. My criticism, like I said, coming solely from a filmmaking standpoint. Like I said, I don't think it's narratively it's that strong of a film. I wish I could have had more of a drama in there, but I have to praise the movie. I heard somebody coming out of Columbiana, this girl, who said, I love the feminist aspect of this movie. And I just shook my head because I was like, there's nothing fucking feminist about Columbiana. It's a chick running around shooting guns in underwear.
In her underwear.
Yeah, tight jeans,
Yeah, it's
gyrating
about
in
as-
front of the screen,
about
all
as
kind of
feminist
shit.
as Sucker Punch.
Thank you.
Yeah, with her nipples poking
With
through
her
her
nipples
catsuit.
poking through. I was like, you look at a movie like this. This is a true feminist film. I mean, this is a woman who's a strong woman, believes in what she's doing, stands up to everything that's going against her, which for a woman being in her position is incredible obstacles. I mean, just forget the danger, just all the berating that she had to get, the belittling, all the stuff that goes just against her esteem. She's surrounded by things that just seem to be incredible odds. And I like these kind of female characters in films.
And she's got great boobs.
You said that. I didn't.
Hey, it wasn't me this time.
I know.
Sorry, I had to.
I agree, but I didn't hear that.
I know. That's
but
why
no,
you were
know
giving
what?
the speech.
I'm looking up on Celebrity Skin right now.
But Rachel Weisz she's amazing. Her character is amazing. If everything I see is true in this movie, like I say, even if it's half true, this woman Catherine Bolkovac is amazing. And I wish I could get this movie. I've been flip flopping between low full price and high matinee.
Oh, the captain's coming out.
Yeah, the captain got
Damn.
Cabinet, come out and give it a.
Got a little
I gotta give it. I gotta give it. I gotta give it a high matinee, man. You know, I'm judging it for a film, nothing else.
Man.
But you know, I'd recommend anybody see. Even those people that you say, hey, you know, if you're squeamish, something like, just fucking watch the movie. It's an you know.
You deserve to have nightmares. It's your fault.
Yeah,
bitch.
exactly. Do something. You know,
You need to take that cat matinee cape to the dry cleaners because you've been wearing it a lot.
By the way, I like how you like, man, somebody gotta do something. I gotta do something tomorrow. You ain't gonna do shit.
I'm doing it right now. I'm looking at Rachel
This
Weisz.
is his way.
This is what he's doing.
He's going to buy the
looking up
Rachel Weisz
Rachel.
action figure on Amazon.
I'm looking at Rachel's tits right now, so I get inspired.
Gotta get on this porn site, see what kind of horrible sex acts that they're doing.
Oh, that
This is
awful.
research
That
right
is
here.
awful. Let me rewind and pause that. Hold on. Is that really going on?
This is your chance to go over there like Liam Neeson and try to liberate these
I am
girls.
going to, in honor of this film, I'm going to delete the rape tag from my favorites on xvideos.com.
There you go. We're all, you know, we're all doing our bit in our own way. Leon is giving back to Texas economy by buying all those cans of white spray paint to pay the Punisher logo on a bulletproof vest. Me, I'm doing a podcast about it. I'm bringing awareness.
While you guys do that, I'm just gonna look at.
You're like the new
I'm gonna go
Martin
look
Luther
at porn.
King,
I think I've gotten over my.
We'll go to do something. You can go watch Serbian film a few more times.
Doesn't matter who I work for, I wouldn't let anybody get away with this.
Top-level military commanders are pulling your files.
We have a system that works here.
Oh, really? For who? Are you sure you want to go ahead with this? You know there'll be no going back. I don't want a scandal. I'm just doing my job.